Have you ever wondered whether you've got what it takes to change the world? Whether you'll be able to use your privilege to benefit others and not just yourself? Many of us dream of being part of something bigger, something which has eternal significance. At Just Love, we believe that this longing is part of God's call on each of our lives. He invites us to step outside ourselves and be part of His plan to restore the world. And yet, the people He seems to use are not the ones we'd expect, the ones who seem to have it all together. Rather, time and time again, we see that they are simply people whose hearts are moved and whose lives are available for Him to work through.
In our Human Trafficking Action Group, we've been incredibly influenced by Danielle Strickland, who has worked really closely with Stop the Traffic Australia and successfully campaigned to get dairy milk fair trade. Along with other things, she's also worked in some of the poorest areas in Canada, working in brothels and showing these women who've been really abused and hurt and often trafficked into these situations that Jesus really loves them, that there is a hope for them and that they're cared for and that they're worth something. She's truly an incredible woman and we're really inspired by her.
By ministering to sexually exploited women, Danielle Strickland is responding to the Old Testament prophetic call by speaking God's freedom and life and hope into the darkest situations. She's also an international Christian speaker and Bible teacher and is married with 3 children. It seems like she's a superwoman. Except that Danielle will be the first to admit that she's not the most qualified anti-trafficking advocate or the best speaker in the world. She's simply a woman who's had her life transformed by God and has responded to His call on her life. In fact, she ran away from home aged 12, became a drug user, a drug dealer, and eventually ended up in prison before she had an incredible experience of God in her cell that transformed her life forever.
Regardless of how personally inept we might feel faced with such huge darkness in the world, we can find real hope in Jesus, who quoted Isaiah 61 standing in the synagogue in Nazareth. He proclaimed, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, to proclaim good news to the poor, to proclaim freedom to the prisoners, and recovery of sight to the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour." As we seek to follow Jesus, these prophetic words should challenge and inspire us to live out this God-given anointing.
This week, we want to challenge you to spend time listening to God and asking Him how He might want you to respond to the problem of human trafficking, whether in your everyday life or even in your future career. No matter how inept you might feel at dealing with the problem or being part of the solution, why not get involved in the Stop the Online Traffic campaign, which HTAG are running in 5th week? We're going to be looking at the evidence for a link between human trafficking and pornography, and we're going to be challenging the assumption that the only people enslaved by pornography are those addicted to watching it. If you'd like to join the campaign, get in touch with one of us or come along to an HTAG meeting. We meet on Mondays from 6:30 till 7:30 in the All Dates Catacombs to pray about trafficking and plan exciting projects. You'd be very welcome to join us.